Hey guys, it's AD here coming at you with another deck profile. This is Dylan. He is going to be profiling his Kozmos, and they're not dead like everybody said, and he will attest to that here in a minute. So without any further ado, let us know what you think of Kozmos before we get into the profile.
I think it's definitely lost a little bit of consistency since we lost Dark Destroyer to 1 and E-Telly to 1, but at the same time I think it's consistent enough to where it can pull off some really good boards, pull off some OTKs, and be actually control-y like it wasn't before.
Yeah, and that's why we see some stragglers of Kozmos in some regionals and some local events that you see around, because it's not completely dead.
I mean, judged by what table I was at, I mean, I was at an OTS event last month, and I was 1 win away from getting the invite. I mean, I actually got 6th place with Kozmos.
Yeah, I was there. I witnessed it. It wasn't bad. And what was the deck that took you out? It was
Invoked True Draco.
Yeah.
It only took me out because I bricked really, really bad.
Yeah, this deck does brick, but a lot of decks actually brick right now. So.
But I've fixed it to where it's to the point where it doesn't brick as much. Added in a few other cards, and adding in more surefire ways of getting off my optimal plays.
All right, well, let's see what you got, my man.
First off, we've got the 3 Cosmo Tin Can. He's the best card in the deck. You know, reveal 3, add 1, the other 2 go to grave. This card is the one card you want to see on your very first turn every single time. I mean, you can get away with it, but the plays won't be as good without this. So, and it never got a reprint, so that's why this thing is still resting firmly at 15 bucks.
Still that price, huh?
Yeah. Love this card.
Well, it is a staple, so it kind of commands the price.
It is a staple, yes. Double Sword Troopers. Of course, you occasionally search out pilots with Tin Can. This card can help you recover them, even grab a Dark Lady out of grave, or grab whatever. So, plus it's a dark target, so this card actually can be pretty helpful. And plus, if you grab a rank 3, grab Farm Girl, you can actually go into rank 3s, which is really fun. 2 Farm Girl, she's a play extender and OTK maker.
Pretty much a staple.
Yes. Double Strawman, he's also potential for OTK making, but he's better for recovery. Double Dark Lady, she's like a solemn strike on legs.
The Dank Lady.
Yes. I mean, you can even grab this off Sword Troopers. That's why I play more than 1, plus dark targets. This, just for staying alive. And,
give us the name in case they can't read it.
In case you can't read it, like you said, Cosmo Wicked Witch.
Wicked Witch, okay.
Yeah, just 1.
There's a lot of glare in here.
Yeah. This is just good for a dark target, staying alive, and an extra pilot, really. So, no more than 1. And for ships, got the 1 Dank Daddy. He was the best Cosmo until he got limited. I really, really wish he was still at 3, or at least 2, because I would end up with a lot less bricks. I mean, that's pretty much how they consider the Mighty had fallen with Cosmos after losing this guy. But the deck is still good with him or without him. But you got to play him in the deck. You don't have to summon him every single time like the previous one in this build. Plus, having a 3,000 beater on board that can't be targeted is very good. Don't you agree?
Yeah, especially in this format, yes.
That's pretty much why this OG print is still resting at 17 as well.
It's 17 still?
Yeah. Double Eclipser. Normally you'd only play 1 in the previous build, but you got to bump this up to 2 because of the fact that Dank Daddy is only at 1, and you like to have another 3,000 beater that can't be targeted. Plus, since you dump a lot of your cards a lot, this is good for negating problematic back row. And it's not once per turn, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, and that makes it much nicer.
And the one downside is if it's destroyed, it doesn't summon out of Cosmo. You have to search it. I mean, if this just gets destroyed and being able to summon Dark Destroyer for free, that would be crazy.
That'd be lit.
Very lit. Dark Destroyer would probably be banned if that was the case. 1 Forerunner. You pay life points out the ass with this deck, and this guy can't be targeted. Its mandatory effect gives you another 1,000 life points. that makes it even better since it's mandatory, if you'd ask me.
Yeah, mandatory effect gain. That's perfect.
But you don't want to play more than one because it doesn't hurt your opponent anyway. It helps you, but it doesn't hurt your opponent, and you want to hurt your opponent more.
Yeah.
3 slip because of more problematic back row, popping field spells, continuous spells, you name it.
Yeah. Which, you know, Paleo is still a thing.
Paleo is still a thing. True Dracos are still a thing.
Yeah, True Dracos. They're not dead yet.
Oh, yeah. And also, let's not forget getting rid of... it's not just Dragonic Diagram. Let's also not forget the Spiral Field spells.
Yeah, the Last Resort.
Last Resort. They're quick
Resort.
Like that Time Pendulum Graph.
Time Pendulum Graph. Star Pendulum Graph, you name it. This thing hits a lot of things. And then for the MVP, we've got the 3 Cosmo Dogfighters. I'd like to do a shout out to Asian Persuasion for this idea, and you'll see why soon enough.
He had first regionals a couple months ago with it.
Yeah, he did.
Who, Asian Persuasion?
Yeah. This just summons out a Dogfighter token with the same level and same stats.
Yeah, I remember.
So it's good. For spells, we got 3 Town. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Cosmotown is standard.
Very standard.
And staple.
3 Allure.
You got dark targets.
I've got dark targets out the ass. Plus, this combined with Town is like Pot of Greed.
Yeah.
2 Pot of Desires for a little extra consistency.
Neg 9.
Neg 9, yeah. It's a little bit ballsy because you risk banishing Dark Destroyer, but with the way this deck is calibrated, losing Dark Destroyer doesn't hurt as much as you think. The only thing you really have to worry about is losing too many ships or too many pilots or whatever. You just don't want to banish too many monsters.
Yeah.
But that's not something you have to worry about a lot, but it can happen. 1 Emergency Teleport, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Raigeki.
Yeah. Standard board wipes.
Yeah, in my little spicy tech is Reasoning.
Oh.
What's your reasoning for it?
Yes. What is your reasoning for reasoning?
Reasoning is because all of my monsters can be summoned in a normal manner, and and my monsters are every level 1 through 9. So it makes your opponent really, really have to guess to try to get the right level.
Yeah, but if he says 8
and
you pull it, you know,
it goes to the grave.
Yeah, you screwed yourself.
Yeah.
Unlikely, but it's possible.
It's unlikely, but it is possible. The chances, I actually did the math, and the chances of your opponent actually calling the right level are only 12%.
12%? I thought it might be a little bit less than that.
Well, there's 9 levels. So.
Yeah.
And to be honest, those are actually some really good odds. So Reasoning actually helps out really well. Plus it speeds things up. For traps, we've got the 3 Call because you're playing Wincan and it dumps your monsters. If you dump something you didn't want to dump, you can recover it.
Yeah.
Double Mojo.
Cosmojo, always good.
Very staple-ish. And I actually updated this. I am playing 3 Full Force Virus still, but I also threw in 2 Deck Devastation viruses.
So you just made it so you could play like 5 of the same one.
5 of the same one, except this one hits Deck Dev hits ones with 15 or fewer attack points.
Yeah.
This can wreck. I mean, for example, they only spirals. They only play 1 Master Plan, but this can actually hit Master Plan because it's got low attack.
Yeah.
And it makes it a little bit more versatile when you're playing both. But Full Force can hit more things than Deck Dev, so that's why 3 Full Force, 2 Deck Dev.
And no brick on all the 5 of these, huh?
No brick. For main deck, that's it for main. Total of 44 cards.
Oh, the 44.
Yep. Now for
ballsy.
Now for extra, 1 Gaia Charger. You're playing rank 5s, so it helps. 1 Volcasaurus.
Nice.
Good to pop a monster and burn your opponent for damage equal to its attack points. But when you use this effect, it can't attack directly. So you overlay with Gaia Charger, and then you can attack directly.
And do piercing.
Yeah, and do piercing. The 1 Pleiades. I mean, this actually did win me a game against True Draco Demise at the OTS event. He didn't have any more ammo left in grave. His monster was affected by traps and spell, was affected by monsters, and I could just bounce it back. Durandal. It's a good mulligan.
An artifact you don't see very often.
Yeah, an artifact you don't see very often is Durandal, but I really do enjoy this card for an occasional mulligan, plus going up into Gaia Charger. This card fixes hands. That's
Nice.
in simpler terms. Got the Infinity package.
Nice.
No need to explain that.
Yeah, everybody knows Nova and Infinity.
One Levier, the Sea Dragon. You can potentially loop the same tin can multiple times with this thing. That's always fun. And his card is also one of Sword Trooper's purposes in the deck. One Break Sword. Break Sword is one of my favorites.
He's becoming standard.
He is becoming a standard rank 3. I mean, if you can target town and pop one of your opponent's cards, that is lit because you get a free search. Or you can pop Dead Calls if it's taking up your back row.
Yeah.
One Phantom Knights of Cursed Javelin, just to, what do you call it, cancel monsters' effects.
Yeah.
And reduce it to 0, so that could potentially put them in a pretty bad spot. Sky Centaur, he's a non-targeting compulse. Just so Nova is still alive when I play, if someone is stupid enough to Solemn it, I play Barbroid.
Oh God, Barbroid. I love that card.
Barbroid, the ultimate battle machine. Very, very deadly. And I'm actually playing a few Cherry's targets. Dragon Buster for ABCs because I hate this bastard.
Well, ABCs are still around and still kicking.
So are Wind Witches. That's why I play Crystal Wing.
Nice.
And finally, I don't have a Firewall Dragon yet, but I am going to try to get it in there. And finally, Double Helix.
Of course, for the Spiral matchup, we'll get a nice little close-up of these three. These are pretty much the three big ones that you see more often than not.
If I were to change anything here, I would probably replace Crystal Wing with, with Firewall or ABC Dragon.
You might even want to add in number 41. Toad too, yeah.
Toad too, yeah. But my virus cards take care of Paleos. I actually played against Paleos when I had Toad in there, and I didn't even need cherries. Never even needed it, so I didn't find the need for the Toad.
All right, so that was the extra. Now to the side. Hopefully there's some spice.
Found myself siding this out a lot, Max C, so threw it in the side. Against back row heavy decks, I'm playing 2 Zaphion the Time Lord.
Ooh.
Double cherries. Gotta play it.
Yeah.
Gotta pop them.
Gotta bomb.
You gotta pop that cherry. This
There goes
is
the demonetization on this one too.
Absolutely wrecks spirals. Double Droll and Lockbird.
Of course.
It doesn't. This is a particular person I know's best friend,
Mine too.
and your best friend because you play Trick Stars.
Of course.
This card doesn't hate on you as much as it would hate on me when I'm playing against Trick Stars, but it does stop from searching. It hurts spirals a good bit. So
It actually hurts a lot of decks right now because everybody has to search at some point.
it's at to the point where I actually think this is better than
Even if you get desperate and go for
Ash Blossom.
desires.
I actually think this card is better than Ash Blossom right now. I mean, Ash Blossom is still an amazing card, but this stops for the whole turn. That's why I prefer this. Cyclones because
Oh, and they're not even in English.
they're Spanish.
Spanish, nice.
Double Cyclone. Sure, I pay life points out the ass, but I like it.
Yeah, but you have a recovery in the main, so man, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I have recovery in the main, which is Forerunner, so it's not too bad. 3 barrier because when you play cards like Full Force against like Toads, against like Paleos or ABCs, this card is excellent for stalling them out even more.
Yeah.
And Pendulum Magicians.
And this wrecks Pendulum
Yeah,
Magicians.
Pendulum Magicians, it just
They can't do dick when you play
just
this.
stops.
Chaos Trapple, this is strictly for Pendulum Magicians.
And Luna Lights.
It can be for Luna Lights, yes, against the casual
Yeah,
matchup.
Trick Stars are light, so.
Yeah, Trick Stars are light, but mostly against Pendulum Magicians, because if you could stop the summoning of 4 of their best monsters, you pretty much just win.
Yeah.
I mean, not once have I played this card against Pendulum Magicians and lost.
It's also good, really good against True Dracos.
Good against Dracos, yeah, to stop that masterpiece, but it's the MVP against Pendulum Magicians.
Yeah.
Because this is against Pendulum Magicians, this is a game winner right here.
Yeah, it's huge.
Oh, and I have a game winner against Paleos. 1 Eradicator Epidemic Virus.
A lot of viruses in here. We're going to call this one Common Cold.
That's a good name for it, Common Cold. I was trying to think of a virus-related name for this deck myself.
I was going to think HIV.
Okay, that's just too far, man.
Yes, it is. But anyway, yeah. Eradicator Epidemic Virus, this is a game winner against Paleos or against anything that's spell or trap heavy.
Yeah.
So if you call traps, they can't do shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's everything.
All right, and we'll get a little zoom in on the World Qualifier match. Did you win this or buy this? I'm just curious.
I bought it.
All right, let's get a little zoom out of it. That's Guardian Iatos and Dead Scythe, right?
Dread Scythe.
Dread Scythe. I always get the name wrong.
And also, I was just wondering, would you like a rundown of the event?
Yeah, we'll get a rundown. OTS, tell us your matchup.
First round, I was playing against Pendulum Magicians. It was going pretty well for me because I flipped Full Force Virus. This was before I added in Deck Dev. As I said, this is an updated profile. I flipped Full Force, and at one point, I ripped his whole hand. And he couldn't do nothing. And then he drew on his next turn, and he lost that card too. But he ended up winning the match because game 3, I was getting ready to call back a Dogfighter so I could play Full Force to wreck him again. But he had Cosmic Cyclone.
Yeah, he was ready.
And if he wouldn't have done that, he would have been dead.
And the match 2 was.
Match 2 was True Draco Demise.
We won't go into too much detail because it's a friend of ours and he
I'm not going to mention the name at least.
Yeah, he misplayed a little bit, so we're not going to hit him too hard.
I played Full Force, and he actually discarded Masterpiece by mistake.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I know.
But I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, we won't say his name.
But
and match 3?
Match 3 was Paleozoics. Full Force was also MVP. He couldn't resolve his spellbook engine. He couldn't get to any of his frogs. I played Eradicator, and he couldn't get to any of his traps. But of course, the Full Force and Eradicator were on separate games. Apparently they appeared in the right place at the right time in those games. So therefore, he couldn't do nothing either game.
And then match 4 was
He never put it this way. In that whole match, he never made a toad.
And match 4 was
ABCs.
ABCs. That's right.
Yeah. So another time where Full Force helped out. I mean, it his other Union monsters, but it did not hit C, because C's defense is too high. But that didn't really matter.
And this was back before you added in the cherries targets.
Yeah, this is back before I added in. No, I did have in the cherry.
You did?
Targets. Yeah.
Just never had it.
Just didn't have the ABC Buster. I was playing different ones.
Yeah.
But it just was complete. It was a complete shit show because he went on his turn. Every time I played Full Force and tried to bring out Dragon Buster, I had D-Barrier set.
Nice.
Which is just evil, honestly. And
then match 5?
Match 5 was Link Spam Mermails. It was pretty back and forth.
Oh, dude, that Mermail player was awesome, though. You got to admit it.
Yeah, he was awesome. It was pretty back and forth, but he had the answer to everything every time I tried to make a good play. So I lost that one. And the last round, I bricked super hard against Invoke True Draco.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for that, I probably would have gotten my invite.
Yeah, you would have got top, what was it, 4?
Top 4.
Yeah, top 4. Because you got, what, 8th place, right?
I got 6th place.
6th place.
Yeah.
All right.
But if it wasn't for that, yeah, I would have got my invite. But oh well, there will be more events in the future.
Yeah, there will be, and next time we'll all be at them anyway. Yes, and we're gonna take those invites, guaranteed.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Dylan, for being part of the profile, and I appreciate it. Guys, leave a like for the Cosmos. May they never die.